When you're building an online business, what happens? There's hiccups, things get in the way, things don't happen as planned. So I would love to hear, what was your biggest takeaway from yesterday's training as we were diving in? So yesterday we were doing like, going through the triangle and talking about just the different levels, right? What was it for you? What was it that landed the most for you as we were going through that? We talked about building up that community. I'll give you guys like the little visual of it as a reminder here. Right, we were going through this. We were talking about community, the content plan, social proof, breadcrumbs, and having the opportunity as well to get into social selling. So go ahead, put your takeaways in as we jump in today. Make sure you send a message to your accountability partner so we don't lose people as we go. So today is our third session. Today is day 3, right? And you're here. So hats off to you. Congratulations. It means that you're committed. It means that you're showing up. It means that you get to continue to move through this and follow through as we continue to move through this. We're going to be streaming this as well to catch those that didn't get a chance to catch this new link. So we're talking today about my yes method. It's a 3-step yes method that I've personally used, my clients have been using to generate 5, 6, and 7-figure launches. You've seen other people, right? You've seen other people build these profitable groups, and now it's your turn, right? That's what I'm here to support you with, is really helping you build your profitable group. And so I want to make sure those of you that do have the all access pass, I just want to make sure that if you do have the all access pass, that you are submitting your Facebook group for your audit by the end of this week. By the end of Sunday, end of day Sunday, the recordings are coming down. It's the last chance to submit for your audit. So if you haven't, who's submitted for their audit already, if you're in the all access pass, just say me. You can say me, you can raise your hand. If you don't have your cameras on, go ahead and put them on so I can see you as we jump in. But just want to make sure that you do have a chance to do that if you already have your Facebook group. And if you don't have one yet, that's okay. Right? If you just want to get feedback, even on the name or setting up the banner, you're going to get it set up. I would encourage you to stretch you to get it set up. So have you ever, Lisa, there's a number of people that are waiting. I'm just gonna, there we go. We'll pop in. We'll let them in. All right. So have you ever found yourself, I go a little bit distracted as we go through this. Okay. So have you ever found yourself wondering why some people have huge followings, yet others continue to struggle to get a few followers and they feel like they're launching to crickets? Have you ever wondered like what really makes the difference? Right? It's like, well, why is it that they have this level of success and they have all these followers when sometimes it can look like the people that are struggling feel like they're doing some of the same things? You ever noticed that? It's like, maybe you've even felt that yourself where you've been doing some of the things. So what really is the difference between those who are really seeing that mass amount of growth and they continue to move forward and have that mass following versus those that continue to struggle, right? And if you think about the people that you follow right now, you think of the people that you follow right now or whose email lists you're on, which Facebook groups you belong to, right? Just going and thinking, processing through that. Are you the only one in there? No, right? Of course not. So you're not the only one that's following that person. So why is it that they have members and engagement that you crave? And even though you may be doing some of the same things to grow. So I'm not talking about like the big Tony Robbins of the world, right? I'm not talking about the big Tony Robbins of the world that have mass budgets, right? That they have these mass budgets and gigantic teams that are working for them. I'm really just talking about the everyday entrepreneur that are making great money because they've developed that highly engaged audience, and they've had those raving fans. They have people that are showing up for their live streams. They have people that are reading their emails. They have people that are eager, loving on their groups. They have people that are eagerly awaiting for them to be putting out their offer, finding out what they've got. And the truth is the majority of businesses fail because the owner keeps seeking that next hack or the newest trick promising to grow their audience. And I'll admit, I don't know about you. Let's have fun here. If you were to guess, just out of curiosity, if you were to guess, how many people do you think how many people's email list do you think you're on? If you were just going to take a wild guess, like how many people are you getting emails from on a regular? Let's have fun with this. Play with it. Drop it in it. Just take your wild guess. Like if you were going to guess how many people, 500. Oh my goodness. I'm already exhausted thinking about it, right? 1,040, 200. My goodness. Okay. So I love your honesty. I love your honesty. And I remember for myself earlier on in my business, I felt like if I wasn't reading a lot of those emails and keeping up to speed with what other people were doing, that I might miss something. Anyone relate to that feeling? But what if I miss something? I don't want to miss something. What if there's like a new thing that's happening? There's a new trend. Things move quickly in the online space, don't they? Right? Trends change, things change quickly. And I remember just having that feeling and that sense, oh my gosh, well, what if I miss something? But the problem was the stacking of all those things. Does it feel heavy or does it feel light? Does it feel heavy or does it feel light? And you guys, if you want to put your cameras on, put your cameras on. I like to see your faces, and I can see you interacting with me. I can see you guys. Like at Teresa, you're animated, you're in it. You're keeping me showing up. I see you. I love it. So if you guys can put your cameras on, I'm going to invite you to don't worry about how you look. Here's the thing. The faster we stop caring about what other people think, the faster we grow. So just a little side note there, right? Show up fully as, you get to show up fully as you are. But it feels heavy. Right? It feels heavy because it's like we're stacking all these things and we're constantly in comparison. We're constantly feeding our mind. Like our mind doesn't even get rest, right? Especially if you have notifications on, then guess what happens? It's like, oh my gosh, like you look at this, is like even looking at mine. Well, I actually have cleaned it up, but here, I'll go here. If you can go onto the screen, grab here. Check this out. How many emails there? That's my junk box. It's my junk box. I don't go in there anymore. I think I've gone and cleaned up so many times. I just don't touch it anymore. I just ignore it. And then we've got plenty of other inboxes, but I say this, and this might be even a stretch for you. I want to encourage you to think about, what if you had space for 3 people that you have really allowed into your space to serve you and support you, that you trusted, that you believed in your heart, that that can help you move forward. What if you could whittle it down to 3 people and cut out the noise, cut out all the other things? And the majority of business owners, like I was talking about, fail because they're constantly looking for that latest hack or this newest trick that's promising to grow their audience, promising to give them results, and they keep searching and seeking, right? Seeking and looking outside of themselves. And I get it because I remember being there as well. The greatest freedom was clearing out, cleaning house, clearing out, and just giving myself mental freedom and space so that I could hear my own mind, my own thinking, my own way. And so as we're diving into today and as we're speaking through this, I really want to invite you to think about that. Those that are feeling like, that are like looking for the next tactic or the next hack or the next thing that they feel like they're missing, they also are trying to be all the things in all the places, which means that oftentimes they're lost between all the social media platforms and trying to do all the things. I gotta be everywhere. What if I'm not here? Oh, if I'm not on TikTok, if I'm not on Clubhouse. I remember when Clubhouse hit, was everyone like, oh my gosh, I need to be on there. I need my invitation. What's going on over there? Better hop over there. And then it's like, uh-oh, then you kind of neglect where you were before because then you're hopping over somewhere else. And then we have all of these half-dug holes that are built that it makes it really hard to keep up with, right? And so and then in that space is like wondering what to post, where and when, in what order to get the most reach. And despite all of that effort, these people's audiences aren't necessarily, their audience size isn't reflecting all of their good work, right? And if you relate, then I get how you've been feeling more defeated, like overwhelmed than ever. So I really want you to think about drawing a line in the sand. And if you can even imagine this, I'd invite you to have fun with this and participate with this in the sense of like, if you're sitting down, like I want you to literally draw a line in front of you. Like imagine like you're on a beach and you're taking your toes, you're dipping your toes in the sand and you're drawing that line in front of you. If you want to stand up to do it, you can stand up to do it as well. I think it's really, it's a good exercise to imagine. But I want you to imagine drawing a line in the sand and literally stepping over it and deciding that was then, that was before, you're stepping over, today's a new day. It's a fresh start, right? I love it. Yes. We've got Teresa's in the house who's going to play. And I think, yes, I see. I'm seeing Donna standing up. I don't know if she's playing. Are you playing across the sand too? Yes. So
I am, because I just got
afraid
back
to
from.
look silly or stupid or however it looks, because guess what? When we physically move our body, our physiology changes, we get in motion, we get in action, it changes how we feel, right? It changes how we feel. And so if you can physically go through that, it's really effective of saying, that's it, I'm done. It's back there. Today's a new day and we get to start fresh. So I really want to invite you, if you want to do it behind closed doors afterwards, you can go do that. If you want to put your camera off for a second and go do it. But I do want to invite you to participate. I don't just say this for the sake of doing it. It's not just for the sake of having you go take an action step. It literally is like it's making a shift in your mind and your brain and your thinking of what you're stepping towards, and stop looking back, right? Stop looking at the gap of where you're going, step into it, be that person, step into that version of you today of where you get to go, and you get to leave behind what no longer serves you, right? So enough of that line in the sand. I'm not going to promise you this special hack about building a raving fan base overnight, because do you believe that to be true? Do you think that's possible? You have enough money, maybe it could be. It's like you could be spending a whole lot of money to get someone to give you a whole bunch of fake followers, but it's not true. You're not going to create a true, authentic, connected, raving fan base overnight with no effort, no work, no energy. It's just not possible, right? And so, and maybe you've been heard different strategies that work. Just do Facebook Lives. If you do Facebook Lives, that's going to be how to do it. But how many people have tried to do them and no one shows up? Or a few people show up, you're like, where'd everyone go? Hello? Hello? Just when I went live today, I was like, where'd everyone go? No one's on. What's going on? We've got a breakdown. But I can't tell you how many lives, how many things that I've done where no one showed up. It's part of the process. It's how we learn. It's how we get better, right? We're not born just having a following. We get better. We get stronger. We dial in our message. It's fine. It's part of the journey. It's part of the process. Whoever told us that we're never supposed to have hiccups along the way, right? But what we see in the marketing out there is like, it's going to be so easy. And then when it's not, guess what happens? Well, what's wrong with me? Why isn't it working for me? Right? What am I missing? And so maybe you've even heard Instagram is the right thing. Go do Instagram, do stories on Instagram, or do reels on Instagram, like go start doing in reels. And then they have a 24-hour life cycle, poof, and then they disappear. Or the tons of ghost town Facebook business pages that I see with either lots of followers or no followers, with no or more followers, but no engagement. So let me ask you this. If it's not the latest tip, if it's not the latest trend that makes the difference, then what is it? It's not the trend that makes the difference. And after I've had the privilege and opportunity of working very, very closely with hundreds of successful entrepreneurs, I've discovered that really what separates the invisible and struggling entrepreneurs with those kick-ass leaders was that they're doing something beneath the strategies. They're doing something before they start getting into those growth strategies. So before they can even start looking at audience growth strategies, there's something that you need to do first. No one talks about this. And without that, all of that effort will continue to fall on deaf ears, right? So successful entrepreneurs know what happens before. And it's what I call the attraction factor, okay? The attraction factor. So we're gonna go on here. We're going to do a little drawing for you. We've got your attraction factor, okay? So this is your first pillar, right? We're going to be talking about the yes method today. This is your first pillar of your yes method. And Lisa, I just want to give you a heads up too, because you're supporting in here today. I have my mic plugged in, so I won't be able to hear you if you're going to talk. So you'll have to pop me a message if you're trying to communicate with me if I'm missing something or something happens. Just so you know, Lisa. All right. So the attraction factor, right? And so this is about how you lead and show up as the person that is worth being followed. Right? And this foundational pillar is not talked about. And that's why most struggling Facebook group hosts are too busy doing it wrong than being open to how they can do it right. So I want you to think about this for a second. Every person that you follow has an attraction factor, something that you admire, something that you look up to, something that you appreciate, something that calls you in, something that has you coming back for more, a unique quality that attracts you to them. So I want you just to think in your mind for a moment. You don't need to say it out loud or share it in here, but I just want you to think for a moment. Can you think of one person or just a couple people that you follow, right? We don't want to think about the 100 or the 500 or the 1,000 that you put on there, but people that you closely follow. I want you just to think in your mind for a minute of just a couple of people that you can imagine that you follow. Maybe one specific person if you can think of that person, okay? Does everyone have someone in mind? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, you got someone in mind. So I want you to think, when you're thinking about that person or those couple people, what is it that you appreciate? What is it that you admire about them? And I want you to put that in the chat box. What is it that you really appreciate? What is it that you value about them? Go ahead and put it in the chat